The Li-Ning JB1, so Jimmy Butler's first signature shoe with Li-Ning. The Tracciones, and in this colorway we have like a solid orange color, right? But it's actually not rubber. So I was like feeling this outsole, like the tread, I was like, yo, this feels kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like, because rubber has like a pretty distinct feel, you know what I mean? I felt a lot of rubber outsoles, right? So it's not really a rubber outsole, it's actually foam. So right here, this is all one piece, right? This part right here that kind of comes up, this is all one piece. Ability seems pretty good actually. The actual like tread, you know, it's not the rubber, like the foam tread feels pretty hard. It doesn't feel as hard as rubber is though, you know. I feel like if this was actual rubber, it would be a little bit harder, you know, like me pressing with my fingers. There's still a little bit of give to it, even though it's like a thicker tread. Here in the middle of the outsole, we can see the exposed full-length carbon fiber plate. So of course that'll be good for torsional rigidity, torsional support, but also it has pretty good flex here in the forefoot. So as far as the heel to toe transition goes, here in the heel, holy crap guys, look at this rounded shape, you know what I mean? And it just feels really nice and smooth here in the heel so far. And then in the forefoot, we have a crazy curve shape as well. Look at that. Just put a little bit of weight here in the forefoot, like the tip of the toe, and just rocks forward, which I really like personally. It reminds me a lot of the Curry 10, or just like all Currys in general. It feels great. Actually, you know, there's a lot of similarities in the shape of the sole as well, right? Very, very similar, which is of course a really good thing. And then we also still have a good amount of forefoot flex. Look at that. So I'm guessing the carbon fiber plate, you know, maybe it kind of like separates into two plates, and maybe it's like an X plate or something like that, or maybe it stops, you know, a little bit right here short of the forefoot, but we still have good, you know, forefoot flex. But also it has like really good bounce back, so I feel like you'll have a little bit of spring back as well because of that carbon fiber. Look at that, you know. So no lateral counters, right? So for lateral containment, it's probably going to be good. It says boom here as well. Material, so they're calling this the boom fiber material, right? And it's pretty much going throughout the entire upper, and it feels really nice. The quality is great, and it just feels like a really nice textile or knit material, and also it looks really great, right? So I don't know what they did with the threads, but if you shine it in different ways, there's like a red or like pink color to it, and then in some different directions like more yellow, right? So that looks really cool, and it feels really premium as well, right? It doesn't feel cheap, really thin, it conforms to your foot very well, it's super comfortable, but there is a little bit of stretch to it, right? It doesn't feel like the most supportive material, but I don't think it's gonna be anything bad. And also, like if you look at all the lateral counters, it feels like a very supportive shoe so far. It's just like this material has a little bit of stretch to it. Also, we have this plastic going around the tip of the toe, and also a little bit more fuse going around as well in this U shape for extra durability and support. And also it stays extremely thin here in the midfoot. And as far as the tongue goes, the tongue has a little bit of padding, right? Around it, it's like really thin, and then in the middle of the tongue, it's like, well, it's pretty well padded, right? Feels like a gel padding. And then we also have a little bit of padding here as well. Also, it's a half booty construction tongue, which gives you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, we actually have very minimal padding. So overall, this upper feels super minimal, and it feels very comfortable on foot because it's right to the edge of the shoe. And also it is a pretty narrow fit, right? This plastic part, right, this plastic and also the foam kind of squeezes the side of my foot just a tiny bit. Nothing terrible, and I'm not getting needles. It doesn't hurt, but it's just squeezing the side of my foot a little bit. So it is slightly narrow. So overall, that's all good, but I don't really like the toe space, right? There's a little bit of toe space, and also, like I said, this boom fiber material is a little stretchy, right? So the material being stretchy coupled with like the roomier fit doesn't feel great. Lateral containment, as you guys can see, we got the foam and also this plastic coming up acting as a sidewall here in the forefoot. And also, if you guys remember, right, we have that lateral counter from the boom midsole, so that comes up. And also we have this here in the forefoot. Here in the midfoot, we have this plastic thing with some ribs on it, and it's a pretty cool, like a shiny color. It has two colors on it as well with this really nice gradient. and also with the logo, right? The logo is like a thicker plastic, and that also kind of helps to keep the material pretty rigid here in the midfoot. And then here in the heel, we got this plastic heel counter, right? External heel counter, and the foam coming up. And it also feels like there's an internal heel counter as well, so lateral containment feels like it's going to be very good. And also lateral stability. Look at this. This shoe is very, very wide. It protrudes out like crazy, so it's probably going to be a very stable base as well for lateral stability. Also, it's a low top. Feels really nice on foot so far. The upper feels very minimal because the material is super thin and there's not a whole lot of foam or anything. But of course, we'll have to see if the shoe is responsive. Hopefully the traction is really, really good. I love it. This shoe looks awesome, and it's actually inspired by an alligator, right? So we got the alligator teeth here in the forefoot, and that's pretty much all I can kind of think about as far as inspiration from an alligator, right? I don't know what this is, but anyways, yeah, this colorway is absolutely amazing. I also love the two-tone boom fiber material, and yeah, just overall it looks great on foot too. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the JB1 is feeling really good so far, and I really like how they kind of implemented foam. You know what I mean? Foam is really good for just wood floors. It stops very, very well, but like I said, it doesn't stop instantaneously like the Curries in the Flow, so maybe it won't hurt my feet as much.